see sort of this meta change up you saw that STG in the last series?
Already, changes coming into play and how this one all breaks out. Our second series of the day, TK versus eRa Eternity. About to begin off the break. You said you wanted to see him, so let's go to it. Kenny, the submachine gun superstar for Team Kaliber, rocking that airborne hunker PPSH class, and as we swap to him, he's got an STG.
Yeah, we see Kenny do this at times to start. Yeah, he's just watching those front barrels. You can see there's two players at TK. They're working down lower docks. Nobody in the hill just quite yet. Everybody trying to win those initial gunfights and then start to pick up. So as soon as Pharaoh gets one, Kenny's going to get on that hill and, well, take the fight. 8 shots out of him. Just challenges, but Ricky there to clean it up.
It's like he's running the AR, but you still see the SMG, PPSH, you know, fast-paced gameplay shine through. He's already swapped on over to that SMG. As eRa do get early control, nice break off for them. Kenny's still the only one with kills for TK. As I say that, Chino gets his first of the game. As right now, all things considered, eRa out to a fantastic start.
Yeah, I mean, again, if you're eRa, there's sort of no pressure on you, right? Like, all the pressure is on Team Kaliber to keep performing at the highest level that they potentially can. And, you know, if you're eRa, you're just trying to place maybe 5-6, try to get to stage 2, not have to go to relegation. You know, just try to get the best placing as possible. So a lot of pressure off of them. We don't expect much, and so far so good for them as they get this rotation. Pharaoh already pushed top street.
Yeah, Pharaoh in a great spot to play spoiler for TK as they try to push through gate. 19-11 the score. Decimate alongside Bevels watching this back spawn area. And you can see in the kill feed, Pharaoh doing his job, holding that mid lane, and he's actually going to go ahead and pinch on through. And Joe, you've got to love the setup right now from eRa Eternity.
Yeah, Pharaoh was actually coming to clean those players up if that didn't happen. Then he's going to challenge right away this middle cut. He's just trying to make sure those guys from Team Kaliber don't get to the side room to challenge that hill. There's one player that slips through. That's Theory, but again, 3 were down, and here we go. Pharaoh trying to push up as far as possible, but 2 come in for Gino.
44-11 now the score. Bevels with another 2-piece. He's now 6-4. Slaying in favor of eRa Eternity. Lead in favor of eRa Eternity. As TK just can't seem to get anything going as of yet.
Yeah, I believe with that, for the first set of kills for Chino, he got 3 once he pushed the top street again. Then he just picked up 2 more. So he's at 9-7. Accuracy in Theory, though, they're having a slow start. But this is the one hard point. You can earn, you know, 50 to 60 seconds in DK. They can take the lead. Theory, though, in a big one-on-one gunfight, wins it on Pharaoh.
And I know a lot of people would talk about Maven's sentiments he shared on Trading Shots, the new show that you can see every week.
Nobody's been talking about it.
Airing on Mondays, but he said, he's very open in saying he doesn't think TK will win another event this year. And I think a lot of that comes down to the meta changes we're now seeing. The FG42 no longer being used by pro players. For you, in your case, I feel like TK, that hurts pretty substantially with how good we've seen, you know, Chino as well as Accuracy use that weapon. Do you also agree with us now seeing more of the bar in STG?
So I was talking about it with Teep last night, you know, but the thing is, well, they've won New Orleans without it, right? Like, they did have the FG42 was nerfed right before New Orleans, and, well, they won that event with STGs and bars. So I'm just not quite sure yet. I think it will have an effect on a guy like Accuracy. He's obviously not going to play to that crazy level, but TK, as I said, they get a full 60 on that lower docks hill. They now take the lead. eRa Eternity, though, they win that barrel building rotation. But yeah, man, I mean, this TK team, they know how to win no matter the weapons.
If you're eRa Eternity, you may have given up the full 60. The best thing you can do for yourself, have a solid start to the new hill, and that's exactly what they've done, getting the first 15 seconds. It's TK trying to flood across middle map, as they don't have the spawns in their favor either. Time being contested right now. We know TK as a squad, when they don't have a spawns, they do a good job of at least keeping the hill contested, limiting the amount of score their opponents can get. Right now, they're doing just that. eRa having to fight tooth and nail for every second as Decimate now on a 6 streak, 15-7.
Yeah, and again, another glimpse of greatness out of Decimate. Like, this guy, during the first couple of weeks, he was their best player in hardpoint. So he has full streaks. He's 25 points away from artillery. I would love to see him use that, but just runs straight into Kenny. I would love to see him bait Pharaoh, but 2 streaks and they come in. They're getting that sort of time, and they're rotating as well. So a great job out of eRa. They're trying to control fire. When you're able to control fire, you can watch that cross down to the lower crane, but unfortunately for them, well, never mind. Decimate right back where he wants to be.
And outside of some of the contested time TK got on that last hill, they hold it for basically 95% of it, 105-76 a score. TK, a slow start to this game, but if we saw anything from the last match from Vitality, you can have a slow start, but bring it back to being at least within reach towards the end of the map, and it still is within reach for Team Kaliber, 108-76. Look at the slaying, though. +9 from Decimate, +6 from Pharaoh, +4 from Bevels. We know TK are a team that have won a lot when being outside in hardpoint, but eRa are doing a great job, Joe, of making sure TK can't get close enough to contest this hardpoint.
Yeah, they definitely are. Every single time you can see how far they push out. What does that remind me of? Well, FaZe. You know, they're a team that typically, zoom in and attach. They get as far as possible. Chino, he's going to clean up one, get these last 10 seconds, but Decimate going to call in that fighter pilot. They don't want TK to get set up. Let's see how many he's able to get. Looks like just maybe one. He's going to get a ton of information, but there we go. They do get control of this middle hill.
Here's what it did. It gave them the opportunity to flood through gate. It forced accuracy with that AR out of that position where you can watch that choke, which let the players from eRa Eternity flood through there off spawn, win their necessary gunfights in fire, in beer. And just like that, they're now back up by almost 50 seconds. Theory, trying to stay alive in middle map. It's Decimate with a 2-piece to swing things in his team's favor. And Joe, 3 players on eRa now at 20 kills. 2 from TK have yet to break 10.
Yeah, this is a little bit worrying. I mean, it is the first match of sort of the second round robin. But again, you want these TK guys, you feel like, with everything people have been saying about them, they'd be fire up. They would want to make a statement. But so far, eRa, they're making a much bigger one. Everybody, well, even Ricky, he's 8 and 12, but he's got 90 seconds on hill. They're getting this scrap time, and again, they're out-rotating Team Kaliber to the second hill.
I feel like Ricky's almost got a pretty similar role to like replays for how he is on FaZe, where people aren't expecting Ricky to make these monstrous plays, right? Yep. If Ricky just does what his team needs for his team to win, he kind of lets Decimate, Pharaoh, and Bevels just fly around and be those crazy kind of slayers that his team will need. Again, another rotation towards the second hill. And what do you see? It's a win for eRa Eternity. They're now up by 80 seconds, their biggest lead of the game, Joe.
Yeah, that's been the biggest story to me is eRa, they're out-rotating TK. The one rotation Team Kaliber wins to that lower docks, well, they get 60 seconds. Even at the barrels, you know, eRa Eternity, they set up 3 coming for Decimate. You don't see that too often with the glide bomb. Typically, it's 1 or 2. That cleans all 4 of Team Kaliber up. They're going to get these last 20 seconds.
They most certainly will, and it's getting to a point where if you're TK, you've got to begin to think about charging for this scrap time. That's another 30-plus second swing in favor of eRa Eternity. You've got Decimate at lower docks. He doesn't spot Kenny to his right. But either way, the damage has been done. It's eRa now up 100 seconds over our back-to-back Global Open champions in TK.
Yeah, you can see eRa. They just need to wait for each other. I don't...
Yep.
There was a couple of challenges that didn't make sense, but you can see number 4, he's going all the way around. That's Bevel. So he has a big one-on-one with Chino. Chino, though, able to win that. That's going to stop the sort of pressure for Team Kaliber. They're doing a great job controlling this statue. When you're able to do that, you get so many angles towards those lower docks. And again, this is where TK got a big chunk of their time the first time.
This is the hill that's keeping TK in this map, right, Joe?
No, it definitely is.
eRa has not scored a second on lower docks, and with where they're rotating now, look at where the rest of these arrows are.
I think they're just trying to get barrels. They're giving it up. Yep, they're going to give it up, try to get, towards those back barrels, get control. They did the same thing last time. Can't really blame them either.
TK, to put things in perspective, at the end of this hill, will have just shy of 150 seconds scored. 120 of that has come from lower docks. Legitimately 120 of their 150. That means eRa has outscored TK 191-30 on the other hills. They have brought it back to within reach again. This is their best chance now to come back in this game.
Yeah, they got to be careful. eRa does. There we go. You can see there's 2 players split off. That means the other 2 sort of spawned out. And now it's another 2v4. It's just at the front of the hill. All 4 go down. And TK, they're right back into it with a great job of winning that rotation towards this barrel, building and a great job holding a full 60 at lower docks.
And if this has been anything like the rest of the map, Joe, when TK win the rotation, they will wind up getting a very large chunk of the time. First 30 seconds now to TK. A 100-second difference. Now down to just 15. Finally, the teamwork and championship caliber gameplay is coming out of TK.
Finally, eRa. I was just going to say, just get to the front, just try to contest as much time as possible. You're not going to win those spawns very easily. Team Kaliber shut it down every single time they try to go through the back and get those spawns. But there we go. TK, they flood out. They're going to have the lead, Jack.
And look at who's turning around. I was going to call. Let's go to accuracy. Does he have these streaks? Yes, he does. He's fully streaked out. TK in the lead. Another rotation won. It is a full collapse from eRa. A 2-minute swing TK now up by 15, and they can win off this hill.
Yeah, they got to be careful, though, eRa. They do get those back crane spawns, but they have great control of fire. You still have streaks out of accuracy. They're winning all the gunfights on the hill. There's one more player. That's Chino trying to do his best, and he has help from accuracy. This is exactly where you want to be, and there's another fighter pilot coming in for TK.
Yeah, now TK, they're the ones with the streaks. They're the ones forcing eRa to fight for any second they can get. They can't win off this hill, but either way, the damage has been done, Joe. You still have a full set of streaks for accuracy to bring out if things really get out of hand.
Yeah, and you really don't want to see him waste too many on this crane hill. We've seen a lot of fighter pilots, a lot of glide bombs. People are able to stay alive from it. So if he can keep it towards this middle hill and for the top street, they'll be able to close the game out. But, well, eRa, they're getting a couple of seconds here. Never mind, a nade takes down Bevels, but eRa Eternity, they're fighting for middle control. And maybe this is where you see that artillery called in.
Where we saw a couple slow starts for TK, that is no longer the case. They brought the slang back to even. The score is obviously flipped with that as well. 218 to 201, streaks being used right off spawn for accuracy. Players trying to dodge this streak. It'll kill Pharaoh as well. TK now in control of the hill. They do not want to go to a second top street hardpoint with how good eRa's been at that hill.
Yeah, you definitely don't. eRa have been in full control, and well, TK, they might win right here. They just need 20 more seconds. And I feel like the kill feed has just been so blue.
Yes.
Ever since that lower docks, the barrels, even at crane, it just feels like the slaying power of eRa has slowed down. Guys like Bevels, Decimate. I mean, I don't know, man. It's just TK. They flipped on a switch. More streaks earned for them. This one's all but over.
This one is most certainly all but over. You can see eRa doing what they can to even just get a second in the hard point in middle, but everything in the kill feed again blue. They've got the rotation, and with an artillery, with these streaks TK have, there should be no way eRa even get close towards this hard point. TK, they should win map 1 right here.
Yeah, you can see accuracy he picked up 2 in the back, and again, I feel like he's really been the one that's really switching on for TK.
He has been.
Yeah,
absolutely.
He's picked up a good amount of streaks. He's on a great couple of sprees. Artillery called in the back. He's going to get a lot of those players weak. He's going to make it a bit crazy on this hill. eRa, though, they're fighting back. Pharaoh, well, Kenny's there to clean that up, and that should be it. TK win map 1.
Wow, there it is, Team Kaliber. After an abysmal start to that map, accuracy really heats up. The 10 streak from him and the rest of TK follow. They were outslayed by like 18 kills at one point, Joe. It was looking grim. But again, that teamwork we talked about came into play, and once that happened, it was all over.
Yeah, and you can see the eRa guys just disappointed. I mean, they had a great, 3/4 of the game, half of the game in the second half. They just couldn't break TK's setup at all. I mean, they even did a great job of rotating as a team, rotating to that back barrels, but they gave up just way too much time. TK, they get back into it, they get those streaks, and they just couldn't stop them.
Yeah, it's crazy to see just once TK were able to get set up, how much score they put on the board. So efficient in those setups, so great at making sure they kind of supplement those setups, right? That kind of chain reaction. If the front guy dies, they immediately fill his position. When he comes off spawn, he fills whatever role is needed. Great versatility from Team Kaliber. They take map number 1. And right there, again, a showing that you can never count TK out. We talk about that clutch factor. Even when they're outscored 191 to 30 across, 4 of the 5 hills on that map, they still find a way to win.
Yeah, I think the one big player, I was just going to say Chino. He was consistent the entire time. He was leading their way in kills, throughout the map when they were struggling. Again, this guy is just so consistent. He's really the glue to this team, always performing so well, comes up clutch. But as soon as accuracy and Kenny turn it on, that's when TK starts to really just pull away.
Pharaoh, your team needs you now in Search and Destroy. When we looked at the S&D leaderboards, he was definitely someone that was up there in his performance so far in Division A. We know TJ kind of leads everyone with what he's done for Rise Nation. We'll see him later on today on the main stage. As TK, they're all smiles after coming back from being down 100 seconds on that map. Props to them, man. Keeping their heads in it. And again, ridiculous that they held every second on lower docks. That was literally what kept them in the game.
Yeah, it definitely was. And then they go over to that barrel building. They win that set of young fights. They probably shouldn't have won. eRa should have set up. But yeah, 250 to 213. TK able to win game 1. Then London Docks hardpoint up next. St. Marie Dumont Search and Destroy. And we know how TK likes to play this one. They still play very B heavy. When you look at the grand finals in New Orleans, even during stage, the first couple of weeks of stage 1, these guys still play that B-bomb site very heavy, even with those spawn changes.
Well, we're getting ready for game number 2. There it is, St. Marie Search and Destroy. All I ask for, someone play Valkyrie. I want to see it.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of studying of the map to prepare.
I've heard you've been playing a ton of it.
Yeah, no, it's definitely one that I know like the back of my hand as we get ready for this map to start on up. Sniper presence, wondering what's going to come out. Is there more A pushes than normal? We know that eRa is a team that has done some of these interesting AR airborne classes, especially near middle map, to catch players off guard. Typically, you do it on defense, so don't expect them to bring it out here, but here we go. eRa, TK for game number 2.
Yeah, I'm excited. Again, if there's a game type you expect eRa to win, it's definitely Search and Destroy with guys like Decimate, Pharaoh, Bevels, and Ricky on their team, all known to have a great Search and Destroy. Chino, though, top window, that could be a first blood. Great job by Bevels to just shoulder peek that, backs up. But nothing too crazy off the start. Pharaoh gets into him one-on-one, and he's actually pushing right at Theory here. He needs to be careful as, well, there's another TK member there to help Theory out, but a very slow, methodical round out of eRa.
Look at what TK having to set up. You know, again, once you get a player inside this B bomb, you really can just let him solo hold this site.
Yep.
Since they spot someone here, they're going to send a second player over. Theory's now taking this mid courtyard control. Pharaoh just shreds it there.
Yeah, that's the one thing is, well, typically when there's a player behind that statue, teams try to nade him out. But Kenny gets behind that bomb. That's such a strong position, wins the one-on-one.
No, eRa's going to get the site.
Yeah, Pharaoh.
Pharaoh just snuck in the mid-building, shot 2 players in the back. He's 3-0.
He might get the ace. No, shot in the back by Chino. What a great round out of Pharaoh. Really just working around that middle courtyard. Picks up 1, then instantly pushes in and really just catches 2 of the guys off guard. Chino, though, in a 1 versus 2. Has a PPSH and a sniper. He's going to go for the jump shot. Just misses Bevels. But he doesn't know where Decimate is. Decimate's the one player that TK hasn't seen on the map. So he has no idea where that one is. Bevels just trying to take his time. Has help from Decimate. Great round out of Pharaoh and eRa.
And I can tell you right now, Kenny's kind of going, boys, how's no one got my mid-building covered? Right? How's Pharaoh able to do that? Again,
yeah, I would have loved to see the timing. I don't know how he got up there.
Well, you know what it was Kenny was pinned behind the site. He was so weak that he actually couldn't challenge because he was 1 bullet.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he was calling out, hey, you know, I need some help, I need some help. That player inside mid-building rotated over to come help. And when he did that, Pharaoh, he either saw him or just got great timing and sprinted right up behind him and got a free 2-piece.
Yeah, and look how Pharaoh is playing this. As you said, that airborne AR, he's got a bar. But look, TK, they're playing towards their B. They throw their smokes down. Bevels, though, he's going to help out Decimate. Makes it a 3 versus 3. TK have to sort of hit the brace right now. They're trying to get some nades, but Pharaoh and Bevels are both defending this B site.
It looks like Bevels will get another. And just like that, Pharaoh by himself, or Pharaoh, so say Pharaoh by himself, no, Chino by himself.
A lot of O's.
Yeah, they know exactly where he is. He's now 1 shot. This should be another round win for eRa Eternity.
Yeah, and I mean, they just did their studying. What does TK love to do on offense on St. Marie? They throw those smokes. They try to make it as chaotic as possible for the defensive team inside that site, but Bevels got to a great angle to the left side of that statue, and TK, they just got caught off guard.
And as you mentioned, you saw Pharaoh with that airborne inconspicuous bar class in middle. It's something that if he doesn't spot the player kind of crossing right towards courtyard right away, he's more than happy to go help on that B play.
Yep.
And they do just that. I think a lot of it, too, they call out, that person pushing into the site for eRa is calling out what's being thrown. Hey, 3 nades here. At this point, on this map, if you're investing like 3 nades into B, you're almost certainly going to go for that site.
Yeah, now eRa on attack. They know nobody's really played sort of that A site. This is typically how TK does it. They have accuracy, watch the cross. Well, misses some shots there with the SCG. What I was going to say is the FG, well, that would absolutely melt kids, you know, making that cross. They would die instantly, though. Accuracy, well, shuts me up. Gets a great shot with the STG. 4 versus 3 now for Team Kaliber.
Well, what it was some well-placed nades. They actually forced the player who was hiding behind green to kind of just go 1 shot. Quick little cleanup. Decimate kind of rips Chino there, and Accuracy's trying to do what he can to help this push. Will he spot the player crossing in time? He does. So they know at least where Ricky is. He'll get away with his life. 1 bullet keeps him alive there.
I say 3 bullets. That would have been an FG there. Cleaning that one up. But Accuracy, well, Pharaoh again catches some great timing, picks him up now. A 3 versus 2. This was a 4v3. That was a first blood for Team Kaliber. Ricky planting that bomb, yeah. Now Theory, he might be able to catch him as he plants his bomb. Doesn't though, he has a PPSH. Ricky there able to stay alive. Instantly has help, but a great shot out of Theory.
Yeah, it's really smart play from Theory, expecting Pharaoh to come quickly challenge. 2 versus 2, Decimate and Ricky up against Theory and Kenny. Theory's been spotted, Kenny's been spotted. You should see some sort of reaction from Decimate now, and that's exactly what'll happen. He'll move into middle map, 20 seconds left.
20 seconds left. 7.5 to defuse. Theory, though, picks up one with the snipe now on 1 versus 1. Trying to play the clock. He's going to go for the defuse. Is Decimate going to peek this? Decimate slowly trying to work his way up. Gets the kill. What is that? 3 rounds in a row now for eRa.
Yep. And even there, with TK getting the first blood and the bomb down, knowing it's down at green, they still can't capitalize on it. eRa,
yeah,
showing how good they are at search and destroy here. A lot of it being led by Pharaoh and his plays in mid-red building.
Yeah, he's just finding great timings, right?
Yep.
You know, he climbs up, he picks up accuracy. That changes the whole defensive setup for TK. Ricky then able to go get that bomb, puts it down. Great job by eRa. And, well, TK, as I said, they love to work this B site. And they're going to continue to do so. I don't think anybody earned streaks on St. Marie, but, again, eRa, well, they're not inside just yet. One player, though, Pharaoh, as you said, that airborne class allows him to help out, picks up 2.
He's just not missing right now. Finally, now dead. And Kenny will see the final player. There you go. TK went around on the board now, down 3-1.
Yeah, and finally a great offensive round out of TK. They get that first blood. They work inside that B bomb site, and they're able to get both of them out of there. As soon as that happens, Kenny, he late flames through that middle building and opens up the lane for them. It's still 3-1.
Trade. When you get first blood and you trade efficiently, that's it. Works in your favor, and that's exactly what they do there to win the round.
And I think what like Bevels and I believe it was Decimate were trying to do is just get those players that were entering inside weak, and I think they missed a couple of nades. You know, Pharaoh was able to get 2, but those other 2 get taken down instantly as the team shot out of TK was there. And
again, look at Pharaoh already in towards the building. Accuracy though, spots him this time.
It's got to be so annoying to play against.
2v2.
Yep, and again the trades go down. Still a ton of time on the clock. Bevels gets some great shots on accuracy. Accuracy has to back down. And that's Decimate. Decimate's worked his way into the
site.
He doesn't have inconspicuous or mountain on. Decimate hears that. No problem. 2 versus 1 now for Chino.
And the good thing now for eRa is you still have a nade in the hands of Decimate. I don't think it'll change how they play this.
But they know where Chino's been playing, right? Like he's been playing that back middle building with his sniper rifle. So he's probably either going to be in that middle building. They spot him right away. Decimate stays alive. There's a nade though. But Decimate moves behind the bomb. Picks up the kill. Great repositioning out of him. 4-1 now for eRa.
That flank from A just never came in time. And accuracy, because there was no one alive to watch that B site, gets caught off guard by the mountain scoped class of Decimate to give eRa another round. Again, if you're just tuning in, eRa dropped that first hard point after being up by over 100 seconds at one point to TK.
Yep, here we go. TK now on the attack. Let's see if they switch anything up. Nope. Here's someone paying net charging there. But there we go. 3 nades go in.
Again, if you're eRa, you know, okay, it's an all-out B assault.
Yep, as soon as those nades land. That's 4. That's 4 nades for TK now gone.
But eRa, we saw on the other hand, I don't think they use anything.
Nope.
So they're going to have all sorts of stuff to retake the site, and TK know exactly that.
Now I'll say the one opening right now, so they're going to get some nades in. But the one opening right now is a full flanking. You see one player, that's Bevels, but Kenny does back up. So that's covered right now for TK, and then you have 3 players inside the site. So the collapse is going to come in from players number 1 and 3, but this could be a big first engagement for Kenny and Bevels. See, the spot him, doesn't spot him. Kenny uses a great corner, but that does get traded out. Great shots out of Pharaoh. Not going to be able to trade that one, but Decimate, he wasn't close whatsoever because, well, he had to win the one, but there we go. Decimate takes down Theory. Now it's a 2 versus 1.
And there's the trades.
Yep.
Simple's that. Trades in the site. Pharaoh's kill on the player on bomb gives eRa a chance to win that round.
Yeah,
Simple's that.
That was a laser. That was absolutely ridiculous. That's such a tough shot to hit, even with that STG.
Wow. eRa now up 5-1. You know, I thought they were running away with the hard point. Then TK came back. I think they're running away with this S&D.
I hope so.
And TK do the same.
Yeah, I mean, if TK would come back to win this one, I'm not sure eRa would even want to play the rest of their games.
Well, into round 7. TK. Crazy stat of the game. 6 of the 7 first bloods, and they find themselves down 5-1.
Yeah, I mean, they finally get Pharaoh out of middle courtyard. I mean, he's been working that middle street and that bottom restaurant building so well, but as soon as he gets taken out, Bevels responds with 1 on the accuracy. He's been playing top middle, and really, eRa, this is the way they've been playing. They've just been working picks, then choosing a bomb site and planning successfully. So nothing too crazy from them.
What's funny is they haven't been doing a good job of getting picks. Right? They've gotten 1 of the 7 first bloods, but they're still just converting some of these rounds, or all these rounds almost.
Oh, great shots out of Chino. Almost gets some bad timing there, and Decimate almost caught him. But a great job by Chino to win that. Now a 3 versus 2, and Ricky and Bevels, they don't have a lot of time to work with.
I think they're just about to go for it.
Yeah, they have to. They're just going to try and go for this B site, but there's 2 players for TQ there. There's 1 down. They just need to try and stay alive. But yeah, Kenny going to clean that up. Picks up 2. Both players were still weak from previous gunfights. Great job by TK.
Nice little cleanup from Kenny. Once he gets those few shots, he's like, okay, it's time to challenge. No matter what this man does, he should be dead to rights. 1 bullet. Nice little cleanup there, and the nade was there for safe measure, too. That's
always the worst when you're in Bevel's position.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I kind of got to challenge this, but I'm 1 bullet, and I can't move out of this corner. And then a nade lands right next to you. It's like, all right, this is my worst nightmare.
That was years past. You could have wall ran and flew over and made some sort of play happen. Not the case in Call of Duty World War II. Surprise, surprise, TK on offense. They're flooding right into B.
Yep, and sort of the same defensive setup. And there we go. Accuracy, Pharaoh challenges accuracy, wins it. Now 4 versus 3. Nobody inside that B site for eRa. But they successfully sort of retook this bomb site last time with a 4v3. And everything started with this man on your screen. Pharaoh has opened up so many rounds and really all the attacks and defenses for eRa Eternity.
4 versus 2. 4 versus 1. Pharaoh. Beast. 10 and 6.
He's just so confident on the map.
Yep.
Just challenges anything. Has no fear whatsoever.
And if you're a TK fan watching that, you're going, is that all you guys have on offense, boys? They just kind of went into B, what, 4 times? And
yeah, I mean, nothing changed. Nothing changed up whatsoever from Team Kaliber.
And if you're facing incredible S&D players like Pharaoh and Decimate, as you saw, they were ready to adapt and do what they needed to win that round. Even there, that perfect nade from Pharaoh, you know accuracy is always going to kind of wide peak towards that top window. The nade lands right at his feet, and it's 1 bullet with the bar to clean up that kill.
Yeah, I mean, even if it's just something like don't go B right away, maybe sort of switch up that timing for Pharaoh, just make it a little bit different, but eRa Eternity able to clean that up and win map number 2.
Well, we've got ourselves a series now, folks, a 1-1 scoreline between eRa and TK. When we come back, who will take the game-changing map 3? Don't go anywhere. What a series, Joe. Game 1, a huge lead for eRa, and then TK battles back in game 2. eRa take the lead and don't look back. Already, this one closer than I think a lot of people were expecting in this best of 5.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think a lot of people thought this was going to be 3-0, maybe potentially a 3-1 with eRa taking that search and destroy, but eRa, they fought hard, right? I mean, again, they're 1-6. I think the biggest surprise is they lost a game to Vitality that last day of stage, or the first 2 weeks where they got 3-0'd. Besides that, they've had a lot of matches like this where they were able to take games, they were alive and well in respawns, and then it just got away from them. This will be a big one, though. Capture the flag on Flak Tower. Well, we know TK, this is one where they are very solid at. When it came to their Dallas championship, this is one of the maps that they just ran away with.
I mean, I feel like it's one where Kenny can just have a field day. You don't really have to stop sprinting. Submachine guns everywhere when you're one of the best, if not the best in the game with the weapon. It's kind of like his playground. We'll see what he can do here in game 3.
Yeah, definitely looking at Kenny to have a big game 3, and then, you know, those AR players, if they can get in the correct positions, guys like Accuracy, guys like Ricky, they can have a huge impact. But really, this just comes down to a lot of the times communication between teams, just making sure nobody gets a sneak pull, constantly knowing who's alive, who is the first one up. But here we go. Well, some 3 dead already for eRa. Last guy was spotted, and Pharaoh instantly backs up to defend his base.
We saw Pharaoh expect the pressure towards that lower Flak side, and that was not the case. So he has to fall on back. Ricky off spawn at least kills Chino to relieve some of the pressure for eRa, but it's the blue arrows of TK flooding from every side of the map.
He sticks him, and then he runs into his own nade there. 3 go down. Now Kenny, well, he gets that flag out, and as we do, let's go to a TK Astro Gaming listening to see if they're able to bring this flag home.
I got one in mid.
Got across. They're
It was Ricky. He's not. He's got. He's chasing your top gun dead.
Good job.
Last guy's
behind me. That guy behind me, I think.
He's on you. No, he's bottom mid.
okay.
Bottom mid. Pharaoh. He's going our bottom mid, I think, guys. Or front gun. I don't know.
Mid.
Somebody look his back.
I'm gonna look front gun. Oh no, you got it. One guy bottom mid. Fair now. He's not pushing. He was top our window. He
I'm
was top our
close to streak.
window.
I'm like 2 off streak.
All right, let's go. I'm going.
One's lower gun. Lower
I'm
gun.
a whole gen.
Lower gun.
Okay.
Alright, J-cap.
Lower gun dead.
Yeah.
Need our bottom mid. I need our bottom
Okay, I'm
mid.
watching our gen.
Top our gun. Ricky.
One's outside our bottom mid. One our top gun. Top gun dead.
Nice.
Job.
Still our bottom mid though. One.
Pharaoh.
Front
Pharaoh was in our window.
Top our guns open. Top our guns open.
Alright.
Looking for Pharaoh and
Still in our bottom
Bevels.
mid.
Pharaoh and Bevels.
Pharaoh's in our bottom mid. Ah, my gun didn't lay down, dude. He's on the left side. Left side. I didn't hit him.
Alright.
He's close left in that corner. Yeah.
Turret.
One
Pharaoh.
shot.
One's mid gun.
absolute.
One's mid gun.
Pharaoh dead.
Sorry, Pharaoh dead.
One's low gun. Low gun.
Just holding our
Top gun.
gen,
Top gun. Top gun.
Our top.
Desi. Yeah.
Yeah, our top gun weak.
Close up.
our
Ricky
dead.
in middle.
Our front gun maybe.
Alright, gen, one
One guy's
shot.
bottom gun pushing mid.
Bottom
J-cap
gun.
right now. J-cap right now.
There's 2 at our gun then. Desi and somebody else.
Okay.
And one's our bottom mid.
And one guy's outskirts too, I think.
Hey, stay up
One
for a second.
outskirts.
Hold on. I spawned
Flag.
bottom gun.
I got one on our flag. I got one on our
flag dead.
Gen,
Outside of bottom mid dead.
Let's get Gen. Dead.
Yeah, I was
Alright,
4.
You had streaks or no?
Nah, I fucking choked.
Okay, it's all good.
I'm going to outskirts.
More
More
I'm
dead
going
still.
to
More dead
outskirts. Yeah,
still.
I'm going to
One up.
outskirts.
Desi first. Desi
I'm
first.
the outskirts. I'm the
Me and
outskirts.
Sheener mid.
I'm sitting at their J-cap.
Outskirts dead. I'm one shot. I need it back.
Joe, they were able to bring that one home as they take a 1-0 capture lead. Anything that stands out for you in that listening?
Well, again, TK just cool, calm, and collected. They're always calling out who they're looking for. You heard, you know, we're looking for Pharaoh, we're looking for Bevels. They were able to take them down, but eRa, they had a good attack, and as soon as TK spawned up, they get all cleared out of their base. And then the one thing I learned is that there is a position called J-cap, so Cap must be so infamous on this map where he has his own call-out. That's one thing I learned. But yeah, what you expect from a TK listening, but here we go. eRa Eternity on the attack, and they get this flag out.
Yeah, this one looks like it should be a capture unless somehow, I believe that's Chino overextending, doesn't get spotted, but nope, he has been. He'll fall on back. And with that player ducking on in towards that lower L area, this will be a capture. eRa tying things up 1-1 just like that.
Yeah, and TK's got to be careful. Kenny needs to stay alive here. He actually goes down, and, well, TK, they're going to be stuck in their base once again. And Ricky, he's 1 kill away from streaks. He's on a 5 spree right now, 10-5, having a great game overall. Decimate taking down Chino, but a great job by actually to trade that out. That would have been a huge kill, but the assist comes in. Just 15 points away now from a streak.
Yeah, and look, you can see he's just, okay, there you go. He does challenge, and there's the second 2 from Ricky.
Ricky with the PPSH again, the main AR for eRa, but Chino cleans up too, always so clutch. Great defense out of TK, but hey, if you're eRa, at least you got some streaks to work with.
The damage has been done, right, with some of that pressure, the capture, the streaks now earned 2. 1 minute and 15 seconds left inside number 1. And look at TK, they still have to worry about their base because of where Decimate's pushed up to. If this final kill comes in for Pharaoh, this should be a pull, but honestly, props to Kenny.
Yeah.
Staying alive, keeping Pharaoh busy, doesn't let him flood on through. And look, he's bought enough time now for the rest of TK to spawn enough. So key for Kenny not to get over-ego and challenge there, or over-eager and challenge there.
Yeah, over-ego works too.
Both, honestly. It would have been an ego challenge if he went for it.
No, I think the big thing there was they knew they were looking for Decimate, and Kenny didn't leave his teammate. Because if Kenny leaves there and his teammate goes down, that flag gets pulled by Decimate. So he waits for his teammate, he camps in that corner, he's able to take one out, and then buys enough time for his team to spawn, as you said. TK now on the attack, 30 seconds left, but we know that extra time could come in if a flag gets pulled. Accuracy spots Bevel's in the back of his base, but that gets traded out. It's TK, though, still on the attack.
Yeah, you see the pressure still coming in for Theory. Trying to see if he can swing a flag cap in TK's favor. Not going to happen. If you're eRa, you have maybe one more chance to go for a pull. I think for the most part, they're just kind of playing defense here because they know TK have the upper hand in map positioning.
Yeah, I think if Kenny would have got that gunfight there, him and Accuracy would have went for a pull, but with just 5 seconds left, it should be 1-1 at the half. It doesn't look like anybody's in position. And if you're eRa, a solid half.
Still playing this team close.
Yeah.
I think this is a great showing for eRa to start the week. We heard on Hot Mic, as you know, Kenny and the boys were talking about on the show, eRa have a very tough draw with teams they're facing this week.
Yeah, I mean, if you can get a win here, a couple wins this week, that is huge for your confidence levels where, again, even a 5-6 is better than going to relegation. You can get yourself into stage 2.
Yep, right. I think it's weird to already think that this is where the team's at, but when you have such an abysmal start at 1-6, you kind of force yourself in that mindset of, hey, we just don't want to be in a relegation position.
It's the little goals in life. Yankee, though, takes down Accuracy, but Theory just goes straight down the middle of the map. Was trying to get a very fast pull. Decimate backs up. And on the other side, it hits Bevels, but again, both teams, both their attacks just getting shut down.
And right there, is that looking at that play, was that too fast?
I think so.
When you look and you've got Pharaoh slowly pushing up this low side, when you've got Decimate in middle map, are you wanting them to try to develop before you go flying on in? It's a little bit tough, obviously, because we see where everyone is, but
I think what Bevels was going for is he was trying to catch a timing. Maybe he just didn't think they knew where he was trying to get a nice little sneak pull, but Kenny backs up. But the streak is invested. 2 do go down for TK. There's just 2 members alive, and they're picked up. That is a cap. A great job by eRa to use that glide bomb and use it effectively.
And just so everyone knows, remember, this eRa team now up 2-1. Think back to the hard point. They had a 2-minute lead that was kind of thrown away against TK. They're now up 2-1 in the CTF.
Yeah.
None of these maps have been easy for Team Kaliber.
No, they have not. This is a great showing out of eRa Eternity. Farrah, the last one left, able to win that gunfight. He's just buying time. See, he goes off now. Kenny, he's left alone. That forces 2 TK members to back up and defend their base. A great job by Pharaoh. Going to stop the pressure. If he wins one more, he might be able to get the flag out.
Nope.
Didn't expect Chino to spawn there, but again, he put enough pressure on the TK base where he forced everybody to back up. He's going to allow his teammates to spawn and get into defensive positions.
Ricky holding low side. With the teammates spawning there as well, they've got to say, hey, something's up. They're pushing towards top. Will they be able to get there in time to stop it? Bevel's playing this close corner. He will get killed off, but they know where both these players are. They've got 3 streaks still on the side of eRa too, Joe.
Yeah.
We know streaks, you know, maybe not as impactful as a map like St. Marie Hardpoint or maybe an Ardennes CTF, but they're still very, very good in any scenario, as what just happened to
Pharaoh is just destroying right now, 16-10, and I was going to say, we know streaks aren't eRa Eternity's best friend, right? I mean, how many times have we seen them sort of blow a game using those streaks? But Pharaoh still, oh my gosh, dude, he is snapping right now. Yeah. Great shots out of him, almost takes down Kenny. But still, this is fine. You're controlling middle map, you're slowing down the pushes, and you're just sort of wasting the clock right now if you're eRa.
2.5 minutes left on the clock. Never count TK out. We know that. As they look for any position they get, and just like that, it's 2 dead, and look where Chino is in the base.
Yeah, I would have loved to see Chino maybe sort of get away with let that guy go and get into the base, though. Pharaoh backs up, cleans it up. Ricky's there as well. And now those last 2 members, you know, Kenny and Theory, they have to wait for their teammates to spawn. They're not going to be able to win a 4v2, so they're just trying to hold this middle map, allow those 2 guys to spawn up and help them out. Kenny able to spot Ricky, but Pharaoh is there once again. Look at that, just doing a great job staying alive. I would have loved to see him just sort of hold that corner, but now 3 dead for eRa.
And do you call on the streak right off spawn if the flag is pulled? We'll have to see. One spawning in the back. It's Ricky winning that first engagement, and that just might be enough to stop this pull from coming on out. Chino's now one shot in the back of the map. He's dead as well. 3 dead on TK. 90 seconds remaining in this game 3.
I mean, I know it's just the little things, and Ricky's on a bit of a streak.
Woo!
Well, Decimate's, you know, killing everything as well, but I would love to see him just keep that flag back there, not return it. It was in such a bad spot, but, you know, Ricky, you know, he's playing it extremely well.
Do they play an offensive fighter? I was wondering if they would. They're using an offensive fighter pilot. The confidence from eRa now. They want to go for this flag pull, but they use it so early, Joe. They mistime it. They've got to wait for those players to come off spawn. They know they're going to spawn on the back of the map. The fighter pilot ends, and the final 2 come on up. No flag pull opportunity, and now it's TK pushing up the map with a minute left.
Yeah, but Ricky holding that great position. If he was able to pick up another, well, 3 down again for TK. Now their push has to stop. They know where accuracy is. All 4 down. eRa, they just need to control middle map the way they have been.
What is this, 1 chance now for TK? Every player negative. eRa have been doing it all so far in this CTF to put themselves at an advantage. 35 seconds left. Now streaks coming into play. Oh, is it happening again? Is this an example of streaks being poorly used from eRa? Now they don't have any fighter pilots remaining. TK have made it into the eRa base. One final chance for Team Kaliber. Chino gets gunned. Bevels with another on the nade. Accuracy, the final hope for TK. 15 seconds left. He is dead. eRa will go up 2-1. Wait, is he gonna get there in time? Is he gonna get there? He's got to sprint right for the flag.
There's no way he gets there.
No, this is it.
Yep. Chino, the last player left, 2 seconds left, but everybody playing defense on eRa. And eRa take a 2-1 lead in this series, and a great job by them. You see Ricky getting pumped up. Look at those guys. They're just having fun. And as you said, this could have easily been a 3-0.
And Joe, you hit the nail on the head for this eRa team at the start of this whole match. Yeah. All the pressure's on TK. Everyone, you know, TK, all their fans trying to defend. These guys deserve more respect. It's ridiculous how they're being talked about, given no props for winning back-to-back events. It's a little bit tough when they go into series like this where, yes, they come back crazy in the hardpoint, but then get mopped in the S&D and lose a CTF. They're now down 2-1.
And this is the thing. Like, we know how good TK is.
Yes.
We know they're back-to-back champions.
Absolutely.
But you and I, you know, other guys, we have to sort of judge them off their recent performances. And they've lost 2 games. They've shown weaknesses like this. Like, what are we going to go to a game 5 with eRa? That is not the best result overall.
Joe, if they lose this series, their overall map win rate in the league is just barely above 50%.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's just the truth. I'm just stating facts at this point. I don't care how much you try to roast. eRa looking great right now. We talk about how tough their week is. We talk about the position they find themselves in. Maybe they're not looking the best for a playoff contention, but they are trying to avoid relegation, and a win here, wins like this are what saved them from that.
Yeah, I mean, you beat TK and you play Optic later on with a match under your belt. Like, you're feeling like kings of the world. Maybe you can take an Optic Gaming the distance, and I think the consistency has just been like they're slaying. Their slaying has been solid, right? Like guys like Decimate and Bevels have been playing extremely well. They slowed down there for a minute in hardpoint, and that allowed Team Cal to get back into it. It slowed down a great.
Let's say, yeah, they almost did it.
It got stopped.
They didn't shoot back for a couple minutes, but what I will say is, even with how solid eRa has looked, for some reason, I have no confidence in them winning this game 4. I still think this is going to be
with Ardennes Forest, you know, hardpoint. That is one of TK's best hardpoint maps. You know, Rise was going to challenge them on it, instantly got shut down. If eRa win this one,
something's up.
Yeah, something is definitely up on the TK side. But even game 5, right? Like, again, London Docks, Search and Destroy, that is a map TK vetoes. I know they play it online, they play it in 2Ks. You know, there's no vetoes online. They play all these maps time and time again, but it's just like you have to talk about it. It's one of their comfort bands. They don't play it too often.
It's also, we saw Pharaoh really have a field day in game 2.
Yeah.
London Docks is one where he can just take over the whole map.
Do what he wants.
Uh-oh. If you're a TK fan right now, I think you're a little bit alarmed at the series so far. Remember, TK 5-2 coming into this match. eRa 1-6. I just don't see eRa closing it out here.
I would be very surprised.
I would really be like, wow. That would be probably the most surprising thing I've seen outside of, you know, United and their struggles up to this point.
Yeah, here's the one issue for me really with eRa is I think Ricky just gets outclassed on the AR side, right? Like, you have accuracy in Chino. on the side of TK, and I just don't know if the guys on eRa, the 2 ARs on eRa, can keep up with them. And again, this is a map where we've seen Kenny have a great impact with that submachine gun, but we shall see. We're going to start off with accuracy using that STG. But you can see eRa, look at one player's going all the way around Ruins, going to try and get middle control and first blood towards Ricky.
And I think that right there is exactly what eRa have to do. Use these smokes, give themselves a chance to kind of shut down accuracy. We know this is his map in game mode. He kind of proved to the world when he dominated Rise Nation on this one when they faced off, you know, who was better? Was it methods? Was it accuracy? Accuracy.
It was definitely accuracy.
Yeah, there's no doubt in my mind. It's right now. Kills being traded near the hard point. eRa just took the lead, up 8-7.
Yeah, the annoying player right now for TK is Decimate. Accuracy takes him down. He was just holding that fire cut. That allowed him to get angles, and as soon as accuracy wins that, he's able to challenge, gets a player off the hill, but eRa Eternity, they respond. 3 go down. Chino, though, stops that push. He'll get that scrap time, but all eyes on Ruins as both teams are rotating.
And right there, that sprint around the corner from Decimate is an example of where, like, I think we watch Apathy as a player who does such a good job of not sprinting corners.
Yep.
And kind of stopping and starting and making sure he can always use that quick draw with his SMG to his advantage there. I think if you watch back this film and you're on eRa, you want Decimate to, you know, not sprint that corner and basically throw his life away with Theory running the other side.
Yeah, and you're in a great position once you get into that circle, right where he is right now with the submachine gun. You don't have to go much further. Allow your ARs to get to those top ruins and really set up and watch that bell. This is exactly what you want to do if you're Decimate. Control this area. You have a teammate middle. You don't have to worry about it. That's just bad map awareness. Pharaoh was already through middle. He didn't need to turn there. And there we go. Kenny gets in. Can TK finally get some control of this ruined hill? It looks like it, but there's Decimate once again.
And what a surprise. This is what TK does to win this map, Joe.
Yep.
Scrap time wins them. Ardennes Forest hardpoint over and over whenever I cast them on it. And not only scrap time here, look at those two spawns.
Yeah,
literally not possible to
Can't go
spawn
down there.
farther than that. If they were going to spawn farther away, they would have spawned it on St. Marie, honestly.
You just can't. You have to play your life there if you're eRa. You can't lose those gunfights. That allows TK to, again, get that scrap time and win this rotation. This is scary now if you're eRa. In that bunker hill with 45 seconds left, and they have full control of the front.
Yeah, and then, again, this is where it does get scary. They're trying to cross no man's land. You've got Chino and accuracy, the dominant ARs in position. They're on a combined 8 streak. I mean, eRa are not even close. You've now got streaks earned by Chino, too. This is exactly where my worries come into play, Joe.
Yeah, and look how far they push out. You have Chino, you have someone already at cabin cut. That's Kenny. I mean, eRa, they're just not able to get pressure on it, and that's going to be a full 60 for TK. And just like game 1 in the Money Hills, TK, well, they cash out. They do a great job getting all the time, and they're winning rotations as well. Decimate trying to do the best job he can to hold down cabin, as we know. That spot is so important, but full streaks for Chino.
Uh-oh. And yeah, one of them's artillery, which if they can force the spawns out at that back bridge, maybe he just drops it on down at that choke point. Double the score right now for TK over eRa. Already a better showing in this hard point in the opening few hills than obviously the last one. As now it looks like TK, they're going to begin to push on through. Theory with the first couple kills. Accuracy watching this mid lane as well. That's almost as clean a break as you can ask for.
Yeah, it definitely was. Pharaoh, though, still locking down cabin, so nobody on the time right now. Great shots out of Decimate. They're going to try and get some time, but again, TK have so much presence in the middle of the map that eRa, they can't get control of it. And that's why you see time going towards TK. Chino winning a big one on Pharaoh. And look how much help each player has. Like, you feel like every time TK challenge it, someone else is always there to help clean up or just get extra shots. Finally, Decimate able to pick up 2. Can eRa get some time? Doesn't look like it. And TK, they're set up for this cave hill.
And while it is a 50-second difference, let's just point out exactly where a lot of that time came in. The last 15 or 16 seconds, because Chino won a 1v2 at cave, went to TK. So that's, you know, a 16, 32-second swing in total in favor of TK. Then when we went over to Ruins, the last 15 seconds went to TK again. That adds up to another 30-second swing. It's where TK excel, is just making the most of the little bits of time that get left behind on these hills. They're now up by almost a minute and a half.
Yeah, but they're investing a lot of streaks. Artillery at cabin. Glide bomb used as well. Finally connects with one, but nobody's on the hill. You're okay with that if you're eRa. Typically, streaks can turn into a lot of time on this hill. Chino's going to save that fighter pilot, I imagine, for those ruins. We know that it's such a good hill to use it on. And they're going to get to scrap time. And again, they're fine with this because they have the fighter pilot to bail them out.
And just to quickly highlight the play Chino just made, he was on streaks, called in the glide bomb, saw that the player was going to come and kill him, at least gave himself a chance by leaving that glide bomb to try to fight the 1v1. Even though he lost it, he at least gave himself a shot. The glide bomb actually still killed the player. So a nice little heads-up play from him. 134 to 53 now. Rotation comes in. TK have one body there. It is in favor of eRa. They need this full 47 seconds, and they need a good rotation towards bunker if they want to come back in this game. Simple as that.
Yeah, they do a great job just sort of staying away from that fighter pilot. TK invested a lot, but Kenny gets in the middle. Can he pick up the third? No, he cannot. Picks up 2. You're still earning time. Yeah, they're contesting.
With one player, Theory, just staying alive, every second that goes by fully favors TK.
And look the side of the map they're on, right?
And boom.
Yep, there we go. And you can see that player, number 3, he's gonna, or number 8, sorry, not number 3, I'm blind. Anyways, but he's middle map, and then he's instantly gonna go over towards this way, towards his cabin, and just watch the front of bunker. They do such a good job of rotating and getting that scrap time. It's very difficult to do, but they have to be careful here as kills go towards eRa's way, and that's why. There was the same thing that happened to TK the last time. Well, they don't get the kills, and, well, they spawn out for bunker.
I'm trying to remember. Was it eRa that banned Valkyrie for the hardpoint, or was it TK?
I think it was eRa.
Because
Actually, it might have been.
let me talk out. Let me speak out loud here for a second. But if you're eRa, I feel like you're doing whatever you can to not play Ardennes Forest hardpoint against TK. I would rather honestly have no experience on Valkyrie than play TK on Ardennes Forest.
Yeah, I think it was TK though who did ban Valkyrie.
Okay, so then
in the search and destroy.
So then, what does it make then for the lesser of two evils? Gibraltar hardpoint?
Yeah, and we've seen eRa have some solid Gibraltars.
Or Ardennes.
Yeah, you make a valid point there.
Thank you. Hey, maybe I should be a coach.
Maybe you should, Coach Jack. Love that.
They'd figure out a way to do worse. 0-7 over 1-6.
You're probably right. Well, there you go. As you can see, TK now up 120 seconds in eRa. Ever since really the first 3 hills,
it's done.
Nothing going their way as TK just have full control. Theory playing well. He has some streaks and a call and a fighter pilot now. Just get this setup cleared. Allow them to earn some more time. But yeah, this is going to be such a tough game for eRa to get back into.
Yep. We both agreed, even with how good eRa have fought on these maps, I don't care really who TK's honestly facing in this one. It could be eRa, it could be anyone else in this group. I'm confident in TK to win the map, and they're showing it right here, up by 2 minutes. Ready to use these streaks whenever they need to.
Yeah, and you can see eRa just trying to get in here. Pharaoh, I mean, he's just hanging out over here. Not too sure exactly. He's not helping his team too much. He's just trying to control Cave for the next hill, but it looks like he's going to get some bad timing over at Cave. Yep, he does. Kenny, well, again, they're getting the scrap time and they're winning rotations. You just can't allow that to happen.
It's a case of where you just say it adds up.
Yeah.
It's true. Theory, making every play happen as well.
Yeah, great game out of him.
215 to 83. Yeah.
Yeah, with 2 minutes in the hill as well.
He could just drop an artillery now down by ice if he needed to.
Yeah, he could potentially do that. He's going to call the glide bomb in instead. And again, if you're eRa, you're probably just giving up right now. Streaks are going to start raining in from the TK side. All the cutoffs are basically closed. Yep, calls it in. Going to put it right on that sort of cabin position. Great game out of TK. This is what we expect from these guys.
Absolutely. eRa, you've done a good job fighting on the other maps, but I can tell you right now, TK are in a league of their own on Ardennes Forest hardpoint. They win the map 250 to 83. Welcome to the 100-point club, eRa Eternity.
Well, the good thing is, though, eRa, they won that capture the flag. And when we talk about eRa, it's just steal a respawn. Try to force as many search and destroys as possible. And we're going to a game 5.
Oh, you love to hear it. eRa putting up a solid fight. TK, we know they're like, what, 11-1 in game 5 so far this year. I believe their last match of last week was when they lost their first one. It was
against Rise. Yep.
Okay, so
that was a reverse sweep as well, which we haven't seen many this year.
Nope, we most certainly have not. That sets a stage for our second match of the day. TK versus eRa Eternity going the distance to a game 5. Can Pharaoh and crew clutch up to win their second series of Division A, or will TK, the Game 5 Masters, continue to show through? Don't go anywhere. Search and Destroy up next. we're going to a game 5, and if you're just tuning in, this series has been a ton of fun, but one thing I just thought of during the break, Merc, you normally cast, maybe 1, maybe 2 series a day.
Yeah.
I swear every time it goes to a game 5 and we find ourselves here again.
At least in game 4, I typically have pretty close matches. Like, I don't have too many 3-0s. I don't know what it is. I guess they should just put me on all of them so we have, great games like this.
You know what it is? The players find out you're casting and it puts them to that extra level of competing. They say, we got to impress Joe Merc DeLuca, 2011 COD XP champion, an overall handsome man.
Thank you. You're handsome too.
No problem. That's the blatant lie. Don't lie to our viewers. Joe, as we get ready for game 5 between TK and eRa. eRa have done it. They took 1 respawn. It was that game 3, and now they're going to be back in what this team does best, search and destroy. In your opinion, Joe, are they taking this game 5, or does the clutch factor for TK come into play again?
I think that game 4 just gave TK so much confidence that I'm going to go with TK. I just think game 5, this is where they're going to clutch up. This is where they're going to play well, but they are going to have to shut down the likes of Pharaoh. They can't allow him to roam the map that he wants to, so figure out where he's going and shut him down instantly.
I think a lot of it, for me, is going to come down to that middle gate area.
Yeah.
If it's players getting aggressive from Pharaoh, flying up on defense, hitting gate and going into beer, or just pushing right through mid-fire off the break, someone from TK has to stop the overall aggression from eRa. Off the break, we're watching Chino with the sniper, trying to spot this A-cross. No smokes yet. That should give TK the idea of, hey, no pressure coming towards the side, and they've actually already had Theory push through lower docks. I love this play from TK.
Yeah, and I mean, eRa, they're doing the same thing they did on St. Marie. They're just playing very slow, a slow default. They're spreading the map, trying to find a pick. But as you said, with Chino watching that cross, they know the pressure's probably going to be on that B site. So you have Kenny all the way in the back of B, just trying to do his best, trying to get as much information, because as soon as that comes in, players are going to collapse from middle.
And remember, those first bloods were so in favor of TK on that first S&D, and for the most part, it meant nothing as eRa wound up converting rounds. Accuracy, you mentioned how he's going to immediately put pressure on middle. There it is. First blood should come for Theory, though, as he catches Pharaoh off guard.
Yeah, and you just kind of have to expect that, right? Like, nobody's watching it.
I think you saw Decimate, too.
Decimate, though, wins the one-on-one. Great shots out of him. But you kind of have to expect that. If accuracy is that confident in that middle statue set up to watch that cross, that means someone has to be set up near barrels. But Chino going to get a ton of intel. Great shot by him. As again, eRa, they're just running down the clock. Only 15 seconds left. That bomb needs to cross. Bevels does get in. I don't even know if Chino saw him. Did Chino see him get in?
I think Chino was worried that someone might have already crossed into docks.
Yeah.
So he actually gives up lower docks. The bomb will be planted, and this round just became a hell of a lot easier for eRa Eternity.
Yeah, they need to try and push out Chino as fast as possible. That's a huge kill, though. That buys time for Kenny to get into the picture. And Chino again staying alive, staying away from Ricky.
Wow.
Great job by Kenny and Chino.
Chino, to stay alive there,
Yep.
is what wins that round for TK. It wasn't as easy as you would have maybe thought, especially after Chino got that 3v2 and only 15 seconds on the clock. But again, I think he was worried someone got in the lower docks already and was going to shoot him from the side. Obviously, we know a little bit more with Codcaster and all the information we get, but just like that, it's TK up 1-0.
Are you saying, Jack, we could see people through walls?
Hey, stop it. It makes me a lot smarter when I can see people through walls.
But yeah, Chino doing a great job staying alive, winning that 1v1 with the pistol, and knew that those guys, as soon as that bomb went down, that they were going to rush him because he had that sniper rifle. TK, they're working towards that B bomb site. Chino gets a nade hit marker. Ricky watching the cross, but
you could tell that was their goal.
Yep.
Was to hit that nade on Ricky and hopefully have him weak so he just instantly dies.
Decimate wallbangs him through that door.
Woo!
Love that.
Decimate.
If
You can shoot right through that glass. Decimate, another kill now, 4 versus 1.
Accuracy almost got hit by it as well, yes. If you guys didn't know, there's 2 doorways right in the middle of the map that you could shoot through, and one of them goes directly near that sort of green truck, really where those barrels are, where players love to position themselves. So Decimate using a little nerd spot there, picks up that first blood, and a great response out of eRa Eternity.
That little nerd spot, I like that.
It's a nerd spot, man.
It is.
You wouldn't know. I mean, people at home might not know about that.
Hey, Joe?
Yeah?
I like the name. Not disagreeing with you. The man is hoping someone's on the other side and shoots through this one small area. It's a nerd spot, but it's a damn good one. It's 1-1. eRa this time a little bit more aggressive towards B. I think they've realized the TK setup. They haven't had anyone watching that cross until they show something or show something towards B. So instead, cross lights already. Kenny, thankfully for TK, playing deeper this time around, worried about that. He knows that crosses open.
Yeah, and again, accuracy gets into this position. Why? Look where Theory is so far pushed up into A. Imagine as soon as accuracy sees someone, he's going to react and try to push up that lower docks. Well, he saw some nades go through.
Did Kenny saw him? Kenny absolutely saw him.
Yeah, Kenny just used to try and stay alive, wait for his teammates, does just that.
And the good thing for TK, it's not like the bomb is being planted, you know? Yep. He's got a pin. Pharaoh dead. He's all by himself.
Yep.
Bevel's crossed back towards B, towards underground.
And again, eRa, they just waste so much time on the clock. I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to earn a pick. Theory, though, picks up Decimate. Decimate's typically the guy who works that late flank. Kenny doing such a great job just wasting time.
Brilliant stuff from Kenny. Lives through the whole round. TK win that one, it seems like with ease, but a lot of it comes down to that man right there playing his life so well.
Yep, he picks up that first blood on Pharaoh, and then, well, the trade tries to come in, but he does a great job backing up. Just buys enough time. Again, eRa, they are taking their time on offenses as it really just comes down to the last 15 seconds for them to plant that bomb. Expect them to adjust that on their next offense.
What will we see from eRa Eternity this time around on defense? Well, looks like they're going to get tested at A. With that smoke coming in, they've got to know what's happening. Pharaoh's going to have his hands full here momentarily.
Yep, there we go. The sort of dives come in. Chino with great shots. Theory just instantly goes to that lower docks. Kenny, pops up. Challenges the second as well. Kenny and Theory, well, that should be round over. A very quick one from TK.
Again, that game 5 clutch factor.
Just so much confidence from Kenny and Theory. They dive across to that box. Chino opens it up, and then they just get the position they need.
And look, everyone's involved. No one really having a bad game for TK.
Yep.
It's great to see. Bevel's 1v4. At this point, he's just hoping to get maybe his first kill of the game. And he's going to get pushed by everyone in the world here. Does get one. No time left. They'll clean him on up. TK up 3-1.
Yeah, great attack. You had no stuns, no nades that went in that smoke to really slow down that attack. So now you have to invest into something. As soon as you see that smoke pop, you're like, all right, we can't let them get into A that easily. Let's use some of our nades or tacticals.
eRa one round on offense went to B a little bit slowly. Crossed a little bit late, which gave TK the information they needed. The next time, they flood right in the lights. And it still doesn't work out. Do they go B again? It does appear so.
Yeah, but you hope that it's a little bit quicker this time. One nade comes in. Put all 4 players towards that B side. Just Decimate, trying to just watch that flank. And again, Theory's moving up A side, so he's going to get so much information that's going to, again, allow Theory to work that statue, which he's already behind.
Good luck killing him.
Yep. Picks up the one-on-one of Pharaoh. Finally, a smoke goes down. But it looks like that player's just trying to push through it. I believe that's Bevel's, but Kenny, again, doing a great job. Finally, a trade comes in.
Decimate's been spotted in the middle, but Bevel's is still trying to stay alive on the opposite side, and Decimate actually gets both and stays alive.
Yep.
But Bevel's gets ripped immediately. 1 versus 1.
He had to have been weak, right?
I think so.
Yeah. So, well, Theory has that STG. Decimate already has 2 of this round. Crosses that bomb. Great shots out of Theory.
TK in game 5, continuing to show just how good they are.
Yeah, and that round got a little scary, and that was because of Decimate. Decimate found a really good timing. That player, Theory, typically goes up through the barrel stairs, those lower dock stairs. Decimate just pushes through the middle.
It's literally an individual play versus the full team of TK.
Yeah.
Which is why eRa have even a chance in this game. Everyone, again, on TK still remaining involved. Everyone with a first blood. Everyone even or positive. There's Theory, again, a first blood for their team. And just like in the game 2, Joe, first blood's fully in favor of Team Kaliber. This time they're doing a better job of closing out the round.
No, Ricky. Don't over-challenge that. Decimate over-challenges as well.
Sheesh.
Just a couple of gunfights. I mean, yeah, you had the player weak, but you were all alone down there, and he decides to push him with the pistol. Knew he was going to have help. But you saw the adjustment coming in. Pharaoh pushed statue. They didn't want them to get into the A site, but Theory knew that. He read that. He said, all right, what adjustment would you make to stop the A push? It would have to come from statue. So Theory just runs out of barrels, picks up that first blood, and, well, that starts the trade process for Team Kaliber.
TK up 5-1, on the verge of winning this game 5 to start out with a close win over eRa in their second half of the action here in Division A.
You have to close out a team like Team Kaliber. Like, win game 1. just if you 3-0 them, well, you don't have to worry about anything, but you allow them to claw back into the series, and, well, they're up 5-1 in Game 5.
I've literally said it since the start. You just can't count TK out of any of this stuff. It looks like eRa this time. Finally switching things up. Forget about B, they say. Let's focus A. 3v3.
Theory and
3v1.
accuracy. Theory just runs up the middle of the map. Accuracy there to help him. Ricky left in a 1 versus 3. He knows the pressure is going to come in. Great shots, but, well, there was 3 of them.
GG's. TK. Game 5 remains their playground. Only 1 Game 5 loss throughout all of Call of Duty World War II up to this point. And eRa, who looked so solid in that first S&D,